Jean, you referenced the Oath Keepers. A total of 16 Oath Keepers have been charged with conspiracy, with 4 members of the far-right militia added just this week. Now, the Oath Keepers are, unsurprisingly, having trouble raising money. I mean, you spend a lot of time thinking and researching and writing about these extremist groups. Do you see this as a potential turning point?
Well, I mean, I see it. There's definitely some fear among these groups that they're being found out, similarly to what we saw after the terrible attack in Charlottesville, where white supremacists rallied and came out together, and then you saw, people wounded and one woman killed by a white supremacist attacker. And after that, you saw white supremacists sort of retreat and go into hiding and regroup and try to think about how they can rebrand their message to be more palatable to the mainstream. And I think we're seeing some of that right now, but that doesn't make these groups any less dangerous. The fact that they're, retreating and fearing repercussions doesn't necessarily mean that they're any less dangerous.
Right. Especially because, to your point about rebranding, part of that rebranding is not just in the recruitment of new members, but in making sure that these ideas can actually get into mainstream American politics. And yesterday, you had Liz Cheney taking aim at the GOP for embracing white supremacy. Take a listen.
Leader McCarthy likes to talk about a big tent, and I think that's important. We want to have a big tent, but no tent should be big enough that it includes anti-Semites, racists, bigots. It's connected to January 6th. When you look at the symbols of white supremacy, the fact that a Confederate flag flew in the Capitol that day, the fact that you had Holocaust deniers, you had the symbols and the insignia of those things with the people, on the people who invaded the Capitol.
Jean, all of this predates January 6th. How have Republicans like Stephen Miller fueled these beliefs, made them mainstream within the party?
Well, that's exactly right. We have seen an absolute mainstreaming of white supremacist propaganda because this propaganda has been laundered through narratives about national security, about, protecting our heritage, about protecting the economy. But slowly, Republicans are moving away from dog whistles and to more overt embracing of straight up white supremacist propaganda, like we're seeing on Fox News with people like Tucker Carlson, openly endorsing the white supremacist conspiracy theory of the Great Replacement theory, which says that white people are being systematically replaced by brown and black people who are, allegedly, according to this false conspiracy theory, being brought in by a cabal of elites. It's an incredibly dangerous theory, and these theories are becoming more mainstream. The idea of, reverse racism, which is being popularized by people like Stephen Miller, as I write about in my book, they're attacking all of the Biden administration's efforts for increased social justice and racial equity. For example, COVID relief for disproportionately affected Black and brown farmers. They're attacking that and claiming that that's racist against white people. And that argument that, attempts to address racial inequity are racist is something that is becoming incredibly mainstream in the Republican Party.
All right, Jean, as always, thank you.